Good morning, y'all. What a wonderful day it is. It's always a good day. I hope you told the atmosphere who you are and what's going to happen this day and what's not going to happen this day. And I hope you walk through this day doing so. You know, James 4:7 tells us to submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. You know, that word submit means two things. Could mean more than two things, but there are two things that I want to talk about today. One is to yield to the admonition or the advice of one, and the other is to obey. And as New Testament believers in the new covenant, that word obey means to attentively hear and believe. You know, sometimes we get it wrong because we've lived under the law for so long, and we automatically just want to dive in and start doing stuff to submit and comply with His word, which our hearing, our attentive hearing and our believing will bring us to that submission and compliance part of obeying or obedience. Because what happens when we hear His word and we believe His word, we have an open yield to Holy Spirit. And then the fruit of what we've been hearing and believing, which is submission and compliance, comes to His word. See, it's easy. There's simplicity in the gospel of grace, but we make it too hard. So today, let's remember that. Let's remember that our obedience, our first step into submitting to God, is to hear and to believe Him, to believe what His word says about us, and to believe who His word says we are and what we have. Isn't that great news? It takes the work out of everything. The only part we have to play in this is to take the time to sit and hear His word, and then to meditate on it during the day and let Him talk to us by His Spirit about His word. That's awesome, and it's easy. That's easy to do. So today, remember that you have to take time to hear the word, and as you begin to hear His word and you begin to believe His word, submission and compliance comes, and you begin to speak His word. You begin to say who His word says you are, that you are the righteousness of God. You are a son or a daughter of the anointed one of God, that you are one with Him, that you are seated with Him, you're anointed with Him, you're united with Him, you are redeemed, forgiven, accepted, and approved of in the beloved. You are holy and blameless. That's who you are. And as you begin to believe that, that's your submission to our Father. But it's your choice. Choose wisely today. Grace and peace, y'all.